Okay, hello and welcome to the rundown for Tuesday 23rd of April. I hope everyone has had a great Easter break. So for our listeners stateside, just getting you up to speed with what we're really looking out for, some of the key things from this week. And as you can see here from the calendar of events, it really is corporate earnings which take precedence. You've got about 150 S&P companies, 12 of the Dow 30 components reporting, including the largest component, of course, Boeing, pre-market on Wednesday. I've already had a couple of companies out this morning. To give you a quick run through of the bigger names, Coca-Cola, EPS was a miss. Revenues was a beat, and they affirmed their full year guidance. Twitter seen higher in pre-market. They actually did see a slight miss on their EPS at 9 against 15 cents. But I guess possibly an interpretation not as bad as possibly they could have been. And then one of the other bigger names, Procter & Gamble, have come out, slight beat on EPS, 106 against 103. Revenues are beat, and they raised guidance for organic sales growth. Quick look at the S&P from a broader range perspective. Just having a look where we are at the moment, we're kind of finding some near-term support around the 2900 level, which is basically the pivot when we're looking at the futures. But looking from a slightly longer time frame, so this chart kind of marked up with a couple of different things, but for one, this rectangle here looking at an area of consolidation which we're expecting to hold, barring any surprise shocks from particularly a lot of the tech heavyweights reporting later in the week. So the range then to look out for in the coming sessions ahead is going to be 29, the handle on the downside, now technical support from previous resistance, and on the upside last week's intraday high, which came in at 29.23.5. Any push beyond the upper bound of that, then obviously strong resistance will be seen up at the all-time high. Any further pullbacks, then looking at a kind of zone of support in the areas around the 77.25 to 64.75 if we were to move down lower. Going back to the earnings focus, so Wednesday you've got Facebook and Microsoft as well as Tesla reporting, and then you've got the likes of Amazon reporting aftermarket on Thursday, with the energy majors Exxon and Chevron coming on Friday. With that kind of energy lead in, then let's take a look at WTI crude oil, which has exploded higher yesterday in the holiday thin conditions, with UK and Europe out of the marketplace, but US in as per normal, slightly exacerbating some of the price movement. From a longer time frame here, from a technical perspective, obviously the latest Iranian news that the Trump administration is thinking about not renewing the waivers on the Iran sanctions. That's what's catapulted this price up and above an important area that's acted as strong resistance at 64.79, and hence we pushed above to trade now close to a $66 handle. Any further push upwards north, I'd be looking at around this 66.86 and then the 68 handle as upside kind of targets. On a shorter time frame, from an intraday perspective, just quite interesting keeping an eye here on the near term trend line that's been forming from yesterday's price gain. Just had a brief flirt with that at the moment, but has failed to break so far. Kind of looking around the 65.90 price point here, with some interest at the moment as we go into the US kind of crossover, and certainly when the volumes start to pick up in a few hours' time. Calendar-wise for today, it is pretty quiet overall, but encapsulating for the week, just so you are aware, there are a couple things to be aware of. Other than earnings, got the Bank of Canada rate decision on Wednesday, Bank of Japan on Thursday, and you've also got the US advanced GDP figure coming on Friday, which will be of particular interest. Okay, thanks very much. I'll see you again tomorrow.